From the On Target Digital Marketing Podcasting Studios in sunny Orlando, Florida, it's the T-Squared Tech Talk Podcast with Tom Jelnick and Tom Craig. It's Friday afternoon, Tom.
I'm ready for it.
You know what it means?
It's another time for another episode.
You're damn right. It's a T-Squared Tech Talk Podcast live today from the On Target. Where the hell are we, Tom? The On Target.
Well,
wow, it's going to be a long show today, Tom.
I tell you, well, you got the T-Squared Tech Talk Podcast.
I did.
down.
I nailed that.
Yeah. So the On Target Digital Marketing.
Thank you, On Target. I still can't. It's my own company. I can't spit it out today, Tom.
There you go. We'll let you focus on Advanced System Solutions.
Need another swig of vodka from the apple.
Yeah. Something. I don't know.
Advanced System. Tom Craig, Tom Jelnick here, and we are pleased as punch to have you joining us on the T-Squared Tech Talk Podcast.
Absolutely.
And we went live, and hopefully this time our image is not sideways on Facebook.
Should I remain
You
like
could
this
do that. I mean,
for the remainder of the podcast?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay,
It'd be terrific. So you look up at the big screen TV, Tom, we're everywhere.
Fantastic.
Larry the Lizard in the background.
I love Larry.
It's showtime.
All right.
So,
huge shout out to one of our listeners, Angela.
Angela.
We got word from another listener of the T-Squared Tech Talk Podcast.
Yeah. See, it's okay.
Okay.
It
almost
perfect,
rolled
Tom.
off.
It almost did. Yeah.
Yep. But she was spotted in the Microsoft store today at the Millennium Mall.
What's she doing in there, Tom?
She was learning about Microsoft 365 and the differences of it between Office 365.
Angela, we need to talk. I thought we were friends.
She was excited. She's pumped. She's ready for collaboration in the workplace.
Yeah.
And
sounds like a horror story to me, Tom.
I love it.
I bet you do.
We've taken a Mac user and we've accepted them into the fold of the Microsoft environment.
Angela, what is going on? Do we need to talk? I mean, do you need a hug? I don't.
She got a big hug for this one.
I bet.
Yeah, she's got that coming. So thanks, Angela, and welcome to the force.
Angela, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm going to let it process.
Yeah, you do that. You let us know at the end of the episode.
I certainly will.
Okay. All right.
It'll run cycles. So today, Tom, I've heard from you that you've had a very challenging week, my friend. And I hate to hear that because, well, I'm sure if you had to distill it down, it was based on Microsoft products, part of your challenges, right? Inferior hardware, probably a little bit of that. Some PCs maybe went awry. Maybe some inkjet printers?
Absolutely not. You know what went awry this week, Tom?
Tell me.
My favorite word has now been ruined.
And is that tacos?
That's the second favorite word.
Microsoft?
Free. The word free was my favorite word until this last week. Now it is a total 4-letter word. It should never be rolled off my tongue again. You'll never... After this podcast, I'm going to give up the use of the word free.
But I think your in-laws use that word a tremendous amount. They've got to get those free samples
That's
from
more
Costco.
like leeching.
Yeah, okay, that's valid.
So
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leeching.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah. But free was the word of the week. And free definitely came back to sting me. And no, it wasn't a Microsoft product that was free. We all know that.
Garbage. Right. Sorry, Angela. I don't know what you're doing in that store. I'm really having, I'm having heart palpitations over this. Yeah. Angela, I have this vision of poor Angela in the store being embraced by that big, goofy-ass logo they have and just, the nerds with the pocket protectors running up to help her.
They were giving a class today on
Well, they have
Office
to give a class.
365
Jesus, on how to get it not to crash.
That's showing the beauty of team collaboration.
Beauty, my ass.
And how easy it can be for you and your environment.
I don't know, Angela.
But that's okay. That's not the issue. The main issue for the week was PF Sense.
PF Sense?
PF Sense.
Is that Chinese restaurant in Winter Park?
I only wish it were, because that would have been a much more pleasurable experience.
Yeah, and it comes with those cookies, those fortune cookies, Tom, and the soy sauce.
Yeah, well, it's...
But this didn't.
This did not. This came with some sort of sauce, but it wasn't soy sauce.
Extra saucy, Tom?
I tell you. Well, PF Sense is a free firewall.
Okay.
And we recently took on a company here in Orlando. It's a very large company. I know you're familiar with them. They have a very large budget, as you know.
I like budgets.
Yep. Well,
Big budgets.
You know what they're not spending money on? IT infrastructure, firewalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this company is a bit of a tech company on the inside as well, which is fascinating.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So PFSense is a free firewall that's delivered on FreeBSD, which is an operating system similar to Apple or Microsoft, but yet different.
Same thing,
More
only
Linux.
different? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But the issue is that if you don't have somebody on hand to constantly upkeep the free software, it's really not that beneficial to you. And that's what had happened over the last 2 years, actually. The firewall had been ignored and had fallen into a state of insecurity.
You can't ignore your firewalls, Tom.
Absolutely not. It's what keeps us protected.
And the philosophical question, as you say, and I'm still, Angela, I cannot get that image out of my head. But so a free firewall,
Yep.
you're a larger organization, you've got a lot of stuff to protect,
Yep. And a lot.
and you go free.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Huh.
Now, again, we've talked before about knowing what you have. Perhaps the owners of this company weren't aware of what had happened, but by the IT guy implementing this free software on a server. So what ultimately happened, though, is I step in, I see this, and I'm performing an assessment for them to find all these vulnerabilities. But, of course, we see that. Red flags go up. Tom, would you mind just real quick? It was almost like the in-laws in the background.
Tom?
I hear it. Yep, I hear them.
Yep. So would you mind updating that for us and getting us a little bit more secure? And as you know, that's not a good place to be if you're an IT company coming in there seeing something like that. If 2 days down the road they're breached, you kind of feel responsible. So I felt responsible to update this free firewall. This was after our last podcast.
Right.
As I'm driving there, something in my stomach said, "Don't do it." And,
Was it the in-laws?
they'll
Do that. They'll get right inside of you.
They
Tom.
do. They do, but it's usually up here
Yeah.
in the head.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but I get there, I go to download the firmware, I go to update the free firewall, and of course, crash.
Crashola. Like
whole
a
thing.
like a Microsoft product,
Yep.
Angela.
See, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't listen, Ange. Don't listen. Stay with us.
I'm hurt.
Yep. So go ahead, do the update, crash. And I'm thinking at this point that there's nobody in the building. I've been told that everybody's cleared out for the weekend.
Oh, sure.
And
It's just you and the rats.
yeah, that's what you would think. And
And the
then suddenly
cockroaches.
people start walking into the server room going, "Are we going to get internet back soon?"
Oh,
And
it's the worst.
we can't get to the servers and I can't print. And it was like, oh, so all of your routing is handled through this free firewall. So if this free device goes down, this huge organization ceases to function. No phones, no printers, no servers, no workstations.
All because of a free
Yep,
firewall.
Exactly. And $500 to $1,000 is what it would have cost them to put a viable solution in place.
Yeah, and they actually make hardware for those too, right? Isn't there
Exactly.
like a Barracuda? Is that a product?
It is
Yeah.
Barracuda,
Also a fish.
FortiGate, Cisco. It doesn't matter anything other than
A device,
free.
right.
Yes. So, and it was riding on a server. So if this server should fail,
The firewall fails.
the firewall fails, the company goes down. Many levels of potential failure here.
Tom, I have the overwhelming urge to find this IT gentleman that was in charge over there and just kind of bitch slap him into next Thursday
Yeah,
for this.
well, it was probably good job security for him.
Sure.
But he's no longer there. And
Yeah,
now we know why.
good.
But yeah, so that was the heart failure that I had as this free thing went down. So of course we've got some great guys on the team, and we dispatched and we put Jay on the case and
You rallied.
we did. Between Jay and I, we got them back up and running, and we were able to get the firewall updated, and it had a happy ending. Thank heavens. Always back up your firewalls before you update them.
You know
That's
where else you can get happy endings, Tom?
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
Chinese restaurant
I'm
we were
gonna
just
ask
talking
Robert
about.
Kraft about that. We'll get back to that on the next podcast.
Yeah. Move right along.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that was the first instance of free that came back to bite me. And of course, that was
In the buttocks.
12 hours of crapping your pants for lack of a
Soiled
better-
yourself a bit, Tom.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not even going to lie about this.
Just like the in-laws.
Just like the
Skid
in-laws,
marks and
I tell you,
everything.
Man, the noises, the funny noises from the stomach, and
Yeah.
the whole it
The
was
gurgling, the
a lot of
farts.
stress. When you take down a company that you have no idea that everything is going to ride on. But again, that's why we do things on Friday night. By Saturday morning, and they were closed for the weekend.
Thank God.
So, exactly. So when all the workforce came in on Monday morning, everybody was up and ready to go. So
Save the day. Assy saved the day once again,
oh,
Tom.
thank heavens, I tell you. But the first recommendation was that needs to go because, again, multiple layers of potential failure here.
Right.
So from this free solution. So this free solution could cost this company a day or days of work. Even smaller organizations, a day or two of no work is going to definitely, you'll feel that in the pocket.
And I see this in my world all the time. I've had people come to us and say, I got a free website from Wix or one of these, drag and drop things, and I'm just not getting any leads. Well, that's because your website looks like a pile of shit, Tom.
Yeah.
And it looks like you made it for free, and people look at it like with this implied perception of if you have a crappy looking website that you did for free, that you're really proud of, and maybe the in-laws are proud of it too, Tom. They just think that you put the little pictures of flowers in there. And
I hate to tell you, Tom,
yeah.
the in-laws are never proud of anything we do.
That's true. There's so
That bar is so high,
Yeah.
we will never reach it.
But in my world too, I see it every day where people just don't think that if it's online or it's in the internet that they should have to invest anything because it's online. It's in the clouds, Tom.
Yeah. Well, it's somewhere.
It's somewhere for sure.
Yeah, so that was instance one. Instance two, I get a call to go help an organization that's based here in Orlando, and they have several locations. So they're a larger organization.
Okay.
They let me know that one of their locations is down. The internet has ceased to function.
It's left the building, Tom.
And of course, they are not under contract because they'd like to save a few dollars, which I understand for smaller organizations. Sure. But if you're an organization that has multiple locations, you probably should have somebody under contract.
Yeah.
So they call, they need assistance right away.
Of course, it's urgent,
Yep,
Tom.
exactly. And it's hard to plan when you're a company like Advanced System Solutions. If you don't know how many clients you have under contract, it's hard to scale for that.
Sure.
So the more per call clients we get, that's fine. But understand if we can't be there for a day, 2 days, 3 days, because we have clients who have taken the time to include into their budgets to allow for IT support costs. So we get the call, I go down there, I put aside the other clients and thought, okay, I can fit all this into one day. And I go there and I get there and they're not there.
Where are they, Tom? Are they at that Chinese restaurant?
I think they went somewhere.
Yeah.
Because
They probably picked up your in-laws along the way, too.
the deal
They're all
was
hanging out.
no internet. Everybody heads out.
Sure.
So everybody was gone. Only the receptionist was there. And so I don't have any passwords. They're not under contract, so I don't have the details of their organization.
No deets, Tom.
None. So I look, and it's a Linksys firewall. And I thought, I wonder what the odds of this being the default password would be. And sure enough, I go to test this firewall that's been in place for years now.
Right.
And it's the default password.
Sons of bitches.
And for those of you who don't know, when you're scanning, when the nefarious people, be they in
Kurzblackistan. Damn, they're there.
Yep.
They're always there, Tom.
or in mom's basement,
right. In
when
Milwaukee.
Yep, when they're scanning the internet for these devices, they can determine what the firewall make and model is. And then from there, they try to use the default username and password. All of this is automated and happens in less than half a second. And then they get a report of all the IP addresses that they were able to access via the default password and username. So now they get this 700-page report of all these IP addresses where the people haven't changed the password. And so they go and they inject and they do what the nefarious characters do.
Always with the injections, Tom.
Yeah, they inject.
They love to
you.
inject.
Yep.
The old injection.
Yep. So again, this organization that's large, multiple locations, has left themselves completely vulnerable to the internet by not taking the time to invest by having the proper skilled person come in to implement the firewall. And I know who probably implemented the firewall. It was probably the company owner, which is why they'll remain nameless.
Right.
But I don't like to usually talk about these things.
It's okay to talk about it, Tom.
Well, I'm breaking attorney-client privilege here, is what I feel it is between the IT organization.
But
and
I
the
feel
client.
you. We're not mentioning names, though.
Nope. And I just couldn't believe it. For years, 20 plus years, I've been talking about, make sure you change default passwords and this, that, and the other. And always in the back of my head, it was like, everybody knows that. Everybody changes
But they don't.
default password.
They really don't. So, but I'm seeing a pattern here too. Here's an interesting observation, other than Angela being in that Microsoft Windows store. So,
Love her.
IT people, and I'm not picking on the industry or the field whatsoever, so don't misunderstand me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sounding more and more logical to me as a small business owner myself to sub out my IT rather than in-house my IT. Because I feel like, and I hear these stories all the time about IT people who have sabotaged or stolen or infiltrated networks or hold people hostage.
Absolutely.
Ransomware, you name it. I've heard about it happening with an in-house IT person, but a company may not have a clue that when they go out and buy a Linksys, firewall, that they got to lock that down too, and that's problematic. So this is where your company shines all day long, and let's face it, everyone can get behind ASCII.
Absolutely. And it's a name you can stand behind.
You can always stand behind it, Tom. I mean,
But
you may want to be careful of the fumes, but you can get behind ASCII.
Well, we work to haul ass and get the problems resolved.
And you do, my friend.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. So if you're going to want to save money, if you want to decrease the cost of your organization, perhaps you should look at, paper or the pens that you're purchasing or the chairs that are in the lobby. But don't cut corners on IT costs,
Right.
because what's going to happen is eventually you're going to get hit. We know from the company in Sanford that was hit with ransomware a few months ago. It can be completely devastating.
Sure.
I mean, imagine losing everything. And if you don't have a solid backup plan, you're going to lose your data.
Right.
So,
And you could lose your customers. So a lot of the companies you work with, I mean, your job is to protect their customers as well, because all that data being stored about them, their processes or transactions, you name it, like your job is to make certain that, you keep their butts safe too.
that's absolutely right, because if you don't encrypt the customer data and you're breached and their information is taken, you have to let them know by law that you've lost their data to somebody else.
Right.
If it's encrypted, there's no need to let the customers know. So again, if you take the steps beforehand, implement it correctly, then you're not going to have the lack of good face to your clients by saying, "Hi, we cut corners and we lost your data and all
Oopsies.
your
Our bad. Yeah.
Oops.
Oops.
So
Yeah.
So it's just been a week of that. So again, free, such a great word in so many ways. Free water, free air,
Sure.
but not free technology.
No.
Apple subscriptions. I mean, I love saving money on software and trying to find the most economical way to get things for a better price. But every single month, I pay for my software subscriptions. I make sure the right solutions are in place to keep ourselves and our clients protected. So,
And we've said on the program several times too, nothing is free. From these downloadable free apps, from these free, I'd be even suspicious of free firewall software. Why is it free? How are they making money? How are they covering the costs of development, et cetera? So, could they be potentially jacking a little bit of data from the company it's protecting?
the possibilities are endless.
Sure. So, my dad used to say it all the time. If it's free, it's for me. And I always challenged him on that. I was like, no, Dad, that's not cool, because free software, somebody's got to make money somehow. And I think we all need to realize this. It's not like there's a bunch of charities out there, Tom, creating firewalls to keep your ass safe.
Yeah, if that were the case, and this would be a different conversation. But you're absolutely right. It's a place where, again, you don't want to cut corners on the firewall. That's the heart of keeping your data, everything safe. So just unbelievable.
Unfreaking believable, Tom.
It is.
What
it
an
is.
experience you've had, my friend.
Yeah, so it's but when I put out the teaser for this week's show and I said we're going to break attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
I didn't want to scare our attorney friends.
Oh, sure.
Very nice people that they are.
Yeah, right.
But it was the same.
Busy,
I thought
busy
about
suing
that later.
people.
I thought, oh boy, it's the same day that I left their location, and oops, I hope they don't think I'm going to talk about what was done there. But no, this is usually I don't like to bring up cases where people have failed, but it was just so unbelievable in the default password changing that it had to be talked about, Tom.
Well, Tom, it's okay to talk about it. And here's a few power tips that I love to impart with our audience. This doesn't just apply to businesses, my friends. So if you go out at home and add a shiny new router or shiny new Linksys, or you're upgrading your Wi-Fi to a mesh, read the damn instructions and educate yourself on how to lock that down, and don't use the default password. Do not use, please, 1234, maybe the name of your doggy. Don't use happy ending. Let's just be really, really cautious about our passwords and secure those things, because those devices out of the box are not secure.
That's right.
You need to go in and secure them, hence the admin 1234.
Exactly. And for technical professionals, they're aware that you go in and...
Testicle professionals?
No,
Tom?
no. Technical professionals.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yep. L at the end there. Sorry.
Got it.
The voice is still a little raspy.
It's okay. A little raspy.
Yep. But technical professionals know to go in, if I can even say it that time.
These are testicle professions.
Go in and change the splash page on these firewalls and such to strip what the make and model is of that device, making it harder for the nefarious people.
Strip testicles and landing pages.
And happy endings. See, there we are.
We just covered everything.
This has just been a Robert Kraft kind of
very special
podcast. Yeah.
Feeling a little deflated.
Yeah, well, these balls aren't going to deflate themselves.
They certainly aren't, sir.
Yep.
So another power tip, if you are a business, small to medium-sized business, not everybody can afford an IT person on staff, but I would strongly encourage you to take a look and get an audit from your IT person. If you do have one on staff, what did you do this week? A lot of the times you see them back there chomping on Twix bars. They got their feet up on the desk. They got maybe they're playing a little game of solitaire on the old crappy PC. But you got to keep tabs on top of these IT people. Keep them honest. I'm sorry.
You're absolutely right, and that's why we enjoy coming in and helping to shine light. We have a shout out to Tom Babington.
Hey, Tom, what's another Tom? Let's try Tom's.
I tell you, I've thought about bringing him in here, but the universe would collapse on itself if there's so much brilliance in one room.
Cats would sleep with dogs. It would be, wow.
Pure havoc.
Yeah.
So Tom created a 10-tier analysis of an organization, and he broke an organization, doesn't matter the size of it, down into 10 segments that we use to perform an analysis on an organization, and it's very simple. It focuses on the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
A little SWOT analysis there, Tom.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we look at that, and we can paint the whole picture of that organization, and really let them know where the potential gotchas are. So that's again something we really enjoy doing, and for this organization with that free firewall, that's what we're in the middle of doing as we notice the firewall. But it really it helps to show who has what access, what back doors are there, and what potentials for failure that there are. So definitely something to look at. If it's not Advanced System Solutions, choose some other company. Just choose a company to come in and put a second set of eyes on your organization. If you have any concerns about your technology staff or the state of affairs, if you're just taking things at face value, perhaps it's time to put a little time into checking what you have.
Yeah, and Tom really wants to see your back door.
That's right. That's why I get in the closet there and really
I saw when you were talking about your analysis, Tom, I had this vision, not of Angela, in that ugly Microsoft store, but I saw you putting on surgical gloves and kind of getting ready to go deep.
We do.
Probe
we get
around a little bit in there.
It's you got to. If you want to find out where all the tumors and the bad things are. You
Yeah,
gotta get in there
and
and
the
do your
polyps,
research.
right, Tom? You find the polyps in there?
See, I was gonna say something like that,
Yeah.
but thankfully I'm not that well versed in doctor speak
Thank
at this
God,
age
yeah.
in my life yet. So
thank God.
Yeah, the tumors is all I could come up with.
This won't hurt a bit. Yeah.
So
Hey, well, speaking of digging in things and moving things around.
is it that time?
I think it's time to dig into the mail sack, Tom.
Well, that's what spawned this whole conversation about the firewall.
And the back doors.
That's right. Was our letter this week?
And what a fine letter it was.
It was from Ray there in New Orleans.
What's going on, Ray?
I tell you. Well, thanks for listening. And Ray had an excellent question, which was, how do I ensure that my business can stay online and running in case of a firewall failure?
Oh, geez.
So it was really funny. We got this, last week, and I just skated right past it. Didn't think too much about it. And
Sorry about
Friday
that, Ray.
night-
Ray, I actually care about you and your needs, and I would have addressed them promptly. But Tom's a busy guy.
Ray, Friday night, you were on my mind, I got to say. 'cause-
Always on his mind.
So I have an excellent answer because I was thinking about Ray Friday night as I was there in that cold room with that dead firewall.
Yeah,
And I thought,
dead Fred.
there's got to be a better way to do this. And that better way is if you're in an organization that relies on internet connectivity, and if that were to go down for a day, if that would impact you for more than $1,000, perhaps it's time that you invest in a second firewall.
Ooh,
You back up-
redundant firewall, Tom.
That's right. You back up the configuration from your current firewall, you load it onto the new one, and then you put it on the shelf, preferably in a different room in case there's some sort of catastrophe to the room.
Sure, keep it out of the closet, Tom.
That's right. Or in the closet, as the case may be.
Whichever one floats your boat.
That's right. Just put it in a different closet.
Whatever sparks your plugs.
That's right. So if you do that, Ray, what's going to happen is if the firewall should fail on you, all you have to do is simply go grab the other one, put it right on top of the dead one, move those plugs from one to the other, and wham, bam, alakazam, you are back up and running.
Flim, flam, flume.
Just
like that, Tom.
Yep.
Like that.
That's it.
Like that.
Yep.
Just
So
like that.
That's a beautiful thing. Ray, so as I say, I was thinking about you Friday night, Ray, when I was working with the dead server with the free firewall on it.
Back doors, Tom.
Yep. So there you go, Ray. That's my suggestion. If a hit of internet connectivity would cost you more than $1,000, that's the best investment that you could make because you don't have to call somebody, wait for them to arrive, perform the analysis, tell you that your firewall's dead, order a new firewall, get the firewall in a day or two later, depending on which type it is, and then load the configuration, and you're back up and running, and you've just lost about 3 days of time. So
Ugly. Ray,
pretty
that was a great question, my friend. And I just keep thinking of beignets. Is that a thing? Beignet? How do they say that?
Ben Gay?
Not Ben Gay.
Oh,
No, not in-laws. Ben. No, they're a pastry thing in the New Orleans. I've never had one. They just look
okay.
amazing.
Yeah,
But anyway,
see,
Ray.
that's above my pay scale. They just give me a candy bar and tell me to be happy.
Yeah, and you are,
kinda where
and
I'm at.
that's what I love about you. The simplicity. Sending poor Angela into the Microsoft store. Wow.
Yep. Can't wait to show. We got pictures. We've got pictures.
You do?
We do.
Documented?
So, it's documented. I couldn't believe. I was so happy. And they said, you are going to be so proud of her. And I said, oh my gosh. So yes, looking at the Office 365 collaboration tools, all the various pieces of the puzzle that'll just allow them to just work better.
Worked better my ass, Tom.
Yeah.
The main reason you're employed, my friend, is because
Yeah?
of the crappy ass nature of PCs and Microsoft. Let's just throw those cards out on the table.
Oh yeah. Okay. All
Those
right,
cards
well.
are out on the table.
Well, the issue is that there's not enough Macs to run an Office because they just don't actually do work.
Is that really the issue, Tom?
I'm pretty sure. Last I checked.
Look up at that screen right there.
Yep. They're great for video.
That machine
They're great
right
for
here is
audio.
running that.
They're great for Photoshop.
It's-
if you want to take the in-laws out of the picture, man, there's nothing
And
better
we do.
than a PC followed by an Apple product. But see, I wasn't going to let you.
You
I
would
wasn't-
never. You
now-
would never put an Apple behind a PC product, Tom. The Apple product comes first, always.
Well, unless you're doing budgets. Again, if you're trying to save money in your organization and be more cost effective, why would you go out and buy a Ferrari when the Corvette's going to do just fine?
So you said it earlier in the program. You cut out things like toilet paper. You cut out things like coffee for your employees.
That's right. That's
you
the first
cut out
to go.
all those things first, and then you allocate that wise investment towards Superior Max to keep your office up and running with confidence, right, Tom?
I don't know. I'd have too much confidence in the Apple products keeping a large organization running with collaboration and such, because you're going to need some sort of Microsoft products on there.
Nope.
And then the Apple is just going to throw up a fit. No,
Nope.
I don't know what to do.
It only gets tainted and throws a fit when you add Microsoft products to it.
Because you want to work now.
No,
and you want to get
no.
The Apple's a great etch-a-sketch. Okay, I love it. It's when if you mess up, you turn it upside down. You're shaking.
You never shake an
apple.
You never shake an apple, Tom.
No,
Never. No, you just do not.
That's what I heard at the Microsoft store. And
You're hanging out at the wrong
class.
place. You and Angela at the
Yeah.
same place.
All right. Well, I'll take you on that. So,
And so we've had a great program today, Tom. The moral of the story today: if it's free, run away. Okay?
amen. Head for the hills.
Head for the hills and allocate your money to keeping your business safe. I really want you to start thinking about security first, and then think about all the fluffy crap like Larry the Lizard behind us. Do we need Larry the Lizard? We did not, but he looks damn cool back
He
there.
looks really cool.
But
gotta love Larry.
He's great. He's going to get dressed up for Mardi Gras real soon. So
Yep.
if you're on the Facebook Lives, you can see Larry in the back. But,
That's right.
But don't skimp on IT, and don't download free crap that you think is going to change your business. If it's free, there's always a catch.
Yep, and it's going to cost you in the long run. I guarantee it.
And it's going to cost you more because you're going to have to call Tom over here with ASCII and,
That's right.
and get behind his products.
That's right. Yep. So please, although we love getting the calls, plan in advance. Do it right.
A great show today, Tom. We talked about testicles. We worked on happy endings, backdoor. We talked about keeping your network safe. And we talked to Ray in Mardi Gras town over there.
That's right. I tell you, it's just been a great episode. I hope that our listeners have taken away something from
Very
this.
holistic, Tom.
Office 365 classes at the Microsoft Store is the bottom
Never
line.
do it. Yeah, just don't do it. Anyway, until next week, friends, thanks so much for listening. We'd love it if you'd share this cast with a friend.
Please do.
And have a great weekend. We're out.
This podcast was recorded at the On Target Podcasting Studio.